Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another Tech Tuesday. This week we are mounting a soundbar to the bottom side of our TV. So in the box, we got the speaker itself. Then we also have a power cord, an optical cord, instructions, and the remote. That's it. Not much in here. Now, I don't know if you've seen me mention it in other videos, but I have mentioned it before. If you're going to mount a TV to the wall, no matter whether you plan on changing the angle or anything like that, always go with a fully articulating mount. Because in situations like this, you don't want to have to take the entire TV off the wall, especially if you're just going to be connecting a cable or something like that. Because now I can just come up here and I can pull the TV all the way out and I can swivel it to the side. And now I have plenty of access in order to work on it. So I actually had to pause the recording of this video because unlike my other soundbar, this one mounts from the bottom. There's actually little covers here, pop those out, and there are screw holes in the bottom here in order to mount it. The other soundbar that I have, the holes are in the back. So I had to get a different kit in order to give extra L brackets to mount at the bottom. So here's the kit that I picked up from Amazon. As we can see in the diagram, we got some extra L brackets. That's pretty much the only difference. So I'll go ahead and quickly unbox it. I haven't even opened it yet. There's two brackets. We got some screws and some nuts there. We got a whole bunch more bolts and some spacers, some T-nuts. Here's the important L brackets. Actually, L bracket, this is only one of them. Here's the other one. Looks like a couple of extra brackets. And then the two large brackets. So this kit does look like it's pretty universal. You could obviously use this one if your soundbar has screws on the back or bolts, whatever. Take screws on the back side of it rather than the bottom. You could use this one as well. However, there are cheaper kits. If you don't need those L brackets, you could save like 10 bucks or somewhere around there, $8 to $10, and just get a kit that doesn't have the L brackets. So it ended up costing another $10 to get this one because the first kit I got was $10. This one was $18. So with this particular bracket, and I think I saw it in some reviews, it's not going to be long enough to reach to both screws. So it doesn't reach to the top. It only reaches to the bottom, but it's only holding the weight of the soundbar. It should be just fine. And what's really cool is this is going to work flawlessly with this mount. So there's a bracket that goes vertically here for the mount, and then the way that this track is shaped, the current mount fits right inside of it. So this actually slides right underneath and almost like locks in. So there's not much play from side to side. I can slide up and down with it, so I'll have plenty of up and down play. I could have more, but this will give me as much as I need in order to go up and down with the soundbar, and then in and out. I'm getting these pieces in place first, and then I can adjust the rest of them to get them where I need them. Now I got both brackets kind of positioned. They're still loose so that I can adjust them. We can set the soundbar on there. I got the screws and washers so that we can put it in place. And now at this point, everything's still really loose. I'm going to go through and adjust it and get it all tightened up where I want it. So now I got it all mounted up. I got it centered how I like it. So with this mount and this soundbar, it does stick out from the front of the TV about 1 3/4 inches. It's not the end of the world. Since it's all black, it all blends in, and I probably won't even notice. If I could suck it back a little bit, I would, but because of the way that the mount is designed, it won't go back anymore. You have some play with it front to back, but you can only go as far back as the L brackets. So I did grab a piece of cardboard out of the mount so that I could use it as a spacer so that the back side of the soundbar wasn't up against those L brackets. I did that just in case so that I didn't have to worry about any sort of vibrations or anything like that of the soundbar being up against that metal. So now we can go ahead and make the connections to the soundbar, and you have 3 ways in which to do it. For me, I actually only have 2, but there's an HDMI port and it's called an ARCA. Now you go ahead and correct me in the comments because I am not for sure what ARCA is. What I think it is newer TVs would have like an HDMI ARCA, so it's more of like an out. So you'll hook up your media device or your DVD player through an HDMI in, and then you'd have like soundbar through HDMI ARCA, and then you'd have controllability through that, which gives you a little bit more options. I am not positive on that. So if you know, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section to clarify that for us. My TV is a few years old, so I do not have an HDMI ARCA. So we have 2 other options that we can use. It comes with an optical cable, which we are going to use this to hook it up. The Apple TV, which is something that we use in order to watch TV through YouTube TV, I did do a video on it, and I'll link it somewhere up here if you are curious about that. So the Apple TV has Bluetooth, and the Bose speaker is also Bluetooth, so you could make a connection through that. The downside that I noticed with that is that there's like a lag when you pause a TV show or a movie or something like that, and then you push play. There's a slight lag before the audio catches back up. So there's going to be like people are moving their mouth and nothing happens, and then the sound will catch up. So I didn't really care for the Bluetooth connection. I did that so that I could control the volume of the speaker with the Apple TV remote. I have another solution for that. We'll get to it in a bit. So we'll go ahead and make the connections. So we just hook up the optical cord to the TV, and then we'll also hook it to the speaker. I am going to do some cable management so that it's just not all dangling. Go grab some zip ties to do that. So we got the optical cord all tucked away right up here. And now we got to run the power cord, and we'll run it through the opening in the wall, and then it'll go down and it'll come out the opening right there. In the mounting of the TV for our gym, somebody did comment why I didn't run the wires inside the wall. I was just trying to show a different option, and at the time I didn't want to take the time to run it through the wall. But for the living room and the bedroom, I do run them inside the wall. And this wall is actually butts up against the garage. So I actually did something here to help it be a little bit more energy efficient. A while ago, we had this entire wall filled with retro foam because it had no insulation in it, but I didn't want a cavity in there so that I could run the wires. So what I actually did is I cut out the back side of the wall, and I made like a little box, like a wooden box, to follow those plastic openings, whatever you want to call them. I'm not even sure what you want to call them. But it kind of follows like and makes a little raceway inside the wall. And then I took Great Stuff or spray foam and I re-foamed around it and sealed it back up. Yeah, I didn't patch it. You can see there's another thing over on the wall there. This entire wall looks terrible. So does the rest of the garage. It's on my list of things to do, just haven't gotten around to it. I mean, you can see how much of a mess it is. but that's for another time. So this is inside the entertainment center. I wish I had made this cubby bigger, but I don't want to rebuild it. You can see the opening that the wire comes out. Below that, there's an outlet. Over here is a receptacle or a coaxial receptacle for like satellite or cable. Right now it's not being used. And then we have a power strip that you can actually turn on and off each outlet. So you can see this end one right here. That's for the DVD player. That's this cord just chilling right here. Since I don't use it all the time, there's no reason to have power going to it. So it's one of those vampire things. If the more small appliances that you can turn off, the more electricity you'll save. So that's one of the things that I do in order to fight the vampire electricity usage. I have one of these in the bedroom too, so that I can turn off the DVD player and whatever else, so it's not taking electricity all the time. So I'm not sure how easy this is going to be to run the cord through. I might need to get some fish tape, but we will see. Oh, that was pretty easy. It was just easier to go up because it's smaller. So this is how it turned out. Very happy with it. It was pretty easy to install, and it's almost like it was made to go with that TV bracket. In the instructions, it does show that they kind of like interlock. They're not the same brand, but it did work with my mount. I have a whole bunch of screws and hardware left over. This is just so that, because it is a universal mount, so it'll work with a whole bunch of different things. I used the T-screws, and then there's just 2 screws in the bottom. So I have a whole bunch left over. If you don't already have a TV mount in there, you will need some of those screws. So I guess that does it for the mounting of the Bose soundbar to the bottom side of our TV. If you want to see the video where I explained why I switched from the Roku over the Apple TV, go ahead and click this video up here. If you want to see the video that I mounted a TV in our gym, then go ahead and click this video down here. So I will catch you on the next one. See ya.